I started BellaNaija Weddings on Instagram. Instagram just started, I think 2011. I graduated 2012. And then I had to post in real time. There was no scheduling. So I would literally set alarms to wake up at 1 a.m. so that it would be like 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. Nigerian time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nkenchinyere EZE, popularly known as Ink, is a Nigerian digital media entrepreneur who transformed Africa's online scene as a driving force behind BellaNaija. She's also the CEO of AsoEbiBella. She spent some time at Brown and Oxford universities and has led many top campaigns. Recognized as one of Forbes Africa 30 Under 30 and a champion of women's empowerment, Ink shares her inspiring journey from her childhood and what it took to build two of Nigeria's biggest blogs.
Sometimes adulthood is just about showing up. Keep in touch, relate based on where you are. Always talk, always show empathy. They don't even need your gifts, they don't even need your anything, they just need your presence.
Yes.
And that's there.
The Open Up Podcast Season 2 is brought to you by Credit Direct.
Hi, Ink.
Hi, Amanda.
I must say you have a very, very pleasant aura.
Thank you.
Honestly, it's like the first thing that came to my mind was flowers. Like daisies or something. I don't know.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you for coming to our podcast. I'll say it's ours because we're discussing today. We're having a little chat.
Yes.
And I just wanted to get to know you more. And of course, everyone else wants to know you as well. So I know that your brand name is Ink. But what is the full name you like? What is your government name?
Nkenchinyere, the gifts God has given.
Period. But you like to go by Ink.
Yes, yeah. It actually was given to me by a friend. I had this friend in secondary school, and she just, instead of Nkechi, she just shorted it Ink. And you know the normal thing, NK, that kind of thing. Well, some people call me NK. Some people call my mom calls me other things and everything. But I was like, okay, Ink is different. So it's stuck since I was like 18 or so.
Okay, so and you like it, right?
I love it.
I want to know about Ink as a little girl. How was childhood for you?
I was very shy. You know, ever since then, I've taken so many personality tests, and it always says I am on the brink of extrovertedness and introvertedness. So it's like 55-45%. Very accurate, deep personality test, and that's really it. And then I was more introverted, I was more shy, and then I've always been very brilliant academically. So coming first in class, ETC, I was that person, called out my name in assembly, winning subject prizes. Yeah, so
you are the babe that were all beefing. Like and then our parents will now be saying, does she have two heads?
I won't lie, yes. I was that girl.
Oh, nice. Okay, so it was pretty much a smooth journey, even back at home.
Yeah.
I'm guessing came from, what kind of home did you come from?
My parents grew us up with love. So now as an adult, when I see some people moving with insecurity or with a lot of things, I'm very still shocked because I don't understand. So my parents grew us up with love, and that's why all of us are in different professions. So aside from me and Uche, who runs BellaNaija, that we're in media, one of my sisters is a medical doctor. One is a singer, like a professional singer that does singing competitions, etc. One owns a professional cleaning company where she has a staff of over 150.
Wow.
They clean for Flutterwave, Money Points, etc. So we're all very different, and that's because our parents raised us that you can be whatever you want to be. There's no defined path, just do it and do it well.
So you're 5 kids?
Oh, my dad had 7.
Wow.
My mom was his last marriage, yes. Yeah, so,
okay.
So we're a lot.
But a nice blended family.
Yes. I mean, my stepmom, for example, she's still so sweet. She's a nurse. She's Swiss, actually, because my dad was a student in Europe at some point. So my stepmom, I'm still close with her till today. She still gives me birthday gifts. And yeah, she gave me my first Harry Potter book. for example. So I always had that love of reading. I was very much a bookworm, and I still am now.
Ah, wow. That sounds like there was no dull moment at home when you
No.
have 6 other siblings.
Yeah.
Do you have a fave? Do you have a favorite?
No, no, I don't. I don't have a favorite, but because of age and proximity, I'm very much closer to the sibling right above me, which is Uche, and the sibling right below me, who owns the cleaning company Fichaya, who is Stephanie.
Oh, okay. Nice. It sounds very sweet. Now I see where all the love is coming from. So take us on from childhood into, middle school. Did you school in Nigeria? Did you
Yes.
travel? Okay, so secondary school in that case to university, what was that like?
I went to Atlantic Hall, and then I went to one of the Redeemer School. There are so many. Then there were 57, but I'm very sure there are more now. Redeemers University was still starting when I was in secondary school. So I went to RISS, Redeemers International Secondary School. I loved both secondary schools. I still have lifelong friends from both places, and that's very important to me. I have a lot of friends, male and female. But I liked RSS, especially. I actually liked that religious angle. I didn't grow up Pentecostal, so it was a bit of a culture shock when I came in and we're doing praise and worship, playing drums. It was just quite different. I was like, it sounded so loud. I was in assembly and I'm like, oh my God, like I can't hear myself. So I think I used to stay at the back just so that I won't, but I ended up being head girl, actually. Yeah.
Again.
Well, yeah. So after that, I went to a 2-year international baccalaureate program in Italy called United World College of the Adriatic, and then went to Brown University in America, worked there for a bit, and just a few years ago, I did my MBA at Oxford. So that's how it's been educationally.
Oh my gosh. Like, I feel like I should leave this set. Look at all the qualifications. No, I'm quite inspired. I love that you have been a go-getter, like literally all your life. And we're going to go through all those journeys together. But you mentioned something. You said you said the Pentecostal thing in secondary school was a shock to you. So what was it like back home? What were you raised at?
Oh yeah, so Catholic.
Okay.
I grew up in Maryland, so St. Agnes Catholic Church, that big Catholic church on the Ikorodu Road.
Yes, I know it.
Long. Like you just keep driving and it still goes on and on and on.
Okay.
So I used to go every Sunday, Mass, Holy Communion, all that. So that was my usual jam. And I mean, right now I'm not Catholic any longer.
Okay.
I'm more of a Pentecostal now.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, got you. All right, so I'm even struggling to catch up with your stories, like Italy to America to Oxford. Let's talk about Italy. Was that you going alone?
Yeah, I was 16 at the time. It was a 2-year program. I went alone. It was an international school, so students from over 100 countries in there. I got a scholarship to go. It was a very good experience. I got to learn more about different types of people. I still did my extracurriculars, and there were also very good components about volunteering, for example. So I volunteered at a home for mentally challenged people, for example. Wow. Yeah. So
how was that like?
It was I learned a lot, I guess I learned a lot. I guess in that time they did a lot of therapy through ceramics and arts and different types of expression. Funny enough, I did art in SS3. I did fine arts for WAEC. So it was interesting. It was a good run, and I'm grateful. Those 2 years, once again, lifelong friends, lifelong experiences, tasting real pizza.
Did you learn a bit of the Italian?
Bene.
I love it. So you have some Italian friends as well, I'm sure.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice. So after Italy, you went to the US?
Yes.
Okay, and you studied
modern culture and media.
Wow.
So exactly what I'm doing right now, pretty much, and you're doing fabulously.
How did that go?
It went really well. America was really great. I mean, America is very textured as a society. Everyone talks about it. Chimamanda has talked about it, but that awareness of being Black, whereas growing up in Nigeria, you are what you are. Everybody's, well, 90% of people, we don't have many foreigners in Nigeria, but that awareness, that consciousness. But once again, because of the family I grew up in, I am used to different races in my family. My mom is biracial, actually.
Okay.
And my stepmoms are white, and some of my siblings are biracial. So it wasn't so shocking. And when it comes to the Black consciousness or experience, I 100% stand with Black Americans. They 100% deserve to be there. They're literally taken from their land and taken somewhere strange, and they still have to deal with an unequal system. So yeah, I have many friends of different ethnicities from college as well. So all in all, it was a good education and a place I made lifelong friendships.
I'm so curious. So, I mean, secondary school, Atlantic Hall, Redeemers, then you went to Brown's in Italy, then you went to the US to do your...
Oh yeah, Brown in the US, yes.
Brown in the US. And then afterwards you did your MBA. Was this
Yes.
at the same time?
Oh no, the MBA was just like 2-3 years ago.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
post-pandemic.
So after college, you came back.
Yes, I worked. But that's the thing.
Why
a lot
did
of
you come
people-
back?
Thank you. A lot of people were actually shocked because America is a land of opportunity. Even sometimes I ask myself why I came back, to be honest. But at the time, my dad was very old. He was almost 80 at the time, or about 80. So I didn't want to spend the last years of his life in a foreign place. I think the main reason I came back was because of him. And dollar to naira then was still about 100 naira, through my salary in 1 month.
Wow.
Through my salary in 1 month, I could go on a 200 and something K. I could go on a trip to America with that, or London with that. So it was, a good time to come back. And I don't regret it. I can always move again. Right? So,
If you want to. So how's daddy now?
oh, he passed away.
Oh, wow. Is that recent? Or?
No, 2017.
2017. How did you take that?
It was really tough, and it was tough on all of us because I think all of us felt we were his favorite. So everyone was like, oh, I was his favorite. Oh, I was his favorite. And everyone had fun stories to share.
So it was just more like, did you bring you guys closer?
Yeah, I did. I mean, although Niger factor, one of my sisters had her phone stolen at the funeral. So but normal,
Yeah.
we all came together for it. So
Everybody's good now, everybody's happy.
Yeah,
Okay,
for
great.
sure.
So you came back again. It was a good time because of daddy, but was there something, is this around the time you decided to start AsoEbiBella?
So Uche gave me a job offer. Actually, before I came back, I was working in America for a B2B tech company all around cloud computing, storage, and I was in the marketing department. So Uche and I was looking for something more to do. I guess coming straight from university, you have co-curriculars, you have everything. So you're always feeling busy. I was in theater, I was in so many things. So after, when I was working, I was like, bored. I was looking for what to do. So she was like, actually, I sent her an email. I kind of pitched the idea that,
You sent her an email?
Yes, my sister. I sent her an email.
Why didn't you just call her?
I don't know. I just sent her an email that, what do you think of launching this part? I started BellaNaija Weddings on Instagram. Instagram just started, I think 2011. I graduated 2012. It's like, what do you think of starting this on there? And she was like, yeah, sure. And then I had to post in real time. There was no scheduling. So I would literally set alarms to wake up at 1 a.m.
To post on BellaNaija?
Yes, so that it would be 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. Nigerian time.
Wow.
Yeah. So I had to, do that. I'll set alarms throughout the night, and I'll still go to my work, which was 45 minutes drive away from my home, because the work was in a remote place. Imagine working, really in a really far place. So I had to drive 1.5 hours every single day, but I still did that on the side.
Wow. And so that means you're a huge part of the BellaNaija story as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I like that.
You walk like your boss when you are making smart money moves. Make payments, invest, and grow now. This is the life of a baller. This is Credit Direct.
So So how was that like working with your sister? I mean, if you're starting it off with an email, was it informal? Was it formal? How was it like working with your sister?
I mean, we're different. We're similar but different. I think Richie is very happy go. She's very funny. She's actually very funny, and only people close to her know that she's so funny. She's happy go lucky. Me, I'm more serious.
You're serious?
Yeah, I'm more. I don't take rubbish. I'm more strict. I'm more.
I'm getting your nice side.
No, I'm kind, but I'm not nice.
You're not nice.
No, I'm not. I don't believe in being nice. I believe being nice is just an invitation for people to walk all over you. I believe being nice shows lack of boundaries, sometimes shows like you want to please people, and sometimes reveals an insecurities. So I am not nice, but I am kind.
Ah, I see the difference there. So how was that like though, working with her? How long did you work with her?
4 years. And recently, we just worked on Harmony Her Power project. So we're still finding ways to work together now, just not in the same, working under her every day. So working with her was good. I learned a lot. It was my second foray in a real professional company after my American job. But as I said, because I have that personality, like let's do some things. I'm like grab about it, and she's more chill. So we bring different sides of a coin, and it was interesting.
So no fights, everything was smooth.
No. I mean, I grew the page to over 1 million at the time, or 1.5, 2, and now it's the biggest wedding social media page in the world.
In the world,
like above Vogue Weddings, any other weddings entity that we've known forever. So I'm really proud of that.
Yeah.
And she's continued it from then.
Yeah,
obviously.
I think you did a very great job with that, and it's nice to know that two sisters could build something so powerful. And then what was the transition point when you decided that, okay, I want to start AsoEbiBella?
Actually, I mean, it was around I left January 2017. And then in 2016, it started getting overwhelming. There was a time I even dropped it for months. And I got 2 emails. One was like, oh, I'm a single mom in the UK. I don't have much in my hands. What do you think if I take over your page? I'm like, if I've not posted for months and somebody there remembers this thing and wants to be a part of it, then there's something special here that I should lock into. Another person too volunteered. I'm like, look, I think this asset is quite precious, so let me just pick up. So I hired someone, and we're still together till today. We've been 8 years. Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
That's like a relationship.
I swear. He's great. He pushes me in every way. He's amazing. And yeah, so I was like, the work is too much. I wanted to keep going. And ever since then, aside from during NSAS period where out of respect, we didn't post, we have posted every single day for 8 years. Yeah.
Just that NSAS period, you didn't post?
Just like 2 days. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's consistency on a high.
Pro Max.
Okay. I do know that you're very inclined towards women.
Yeah.
And during NSAS, during COVID, you supported about 60 businesses, and you wanted to empower women. Is this based on the relationship that you have with your sisters, or is there something deeper on why you like to empower women?
Yeah, I mean, I even did an initiative the year before working with widows where we gave back to over 100 widows in Shomolu with secondhand clothes, foodstuffs, and actual food on the day, spent Christmas with them. I just feel like women need all the support we can get, but more than that, we need to be reminded we're powerful. And that's why when I did this Harmony Her Power campaign, I resonated with it on a deep level. It wasn't just, oh yeah, come and work. No, it was like, this is my story, this is my song. Sometimes we limit ourselves. We have limiting beliefs. Even society reinforces it, men reinforce it, women reinforce it. It's just it's just your side project. Oh, it's just your this, it's just your that. No, but women we need to believe in ourselves more, that we can achieve. Even if you're in a loving, beautiful relationship, even if you have a loving, beautiful family and support system. Look at DJ Copy. Is she not still working you know what I mean?
Right.
So you can't take away her drive. Look at, okay, Davido is a male example, but
yeah,
you know, exactly, like there are two sides of a coin. Like she's a female example. She works as though that's not her.
Yeah, her background.
You know, exactly. So we have to just keep pushing.
Okay, I think that's very nice to see that women are encouraging women, and it's not what we always hear that, oh, women don't support women and all of that. So that narrative is not
I think
near
that's
your
the
table.
biggest lie.
It's a lie, right?
I swear, I've gotten my biggest opportunities from women, my biggest encouragement from women, my biggest everything from women. And I have never had to give a dime back or, pay back with any, bad type of favors. No, it's just pure support and love. And I have so many female friends. Like, we've been, down for like 20 years, 25 years.
That's
I'm
so
revealing
cool.
my age.
You need to write a book on how you were able to maintain beautiful friendships so long, because that's a thing. But I mean, I think I should ask you that. How are you able to do that?
It's very simple. Oh, keep in touch. Like I've been maid of honor 5 times to people in like almost 4 or 5 different countries. Keep in touch. Relate based on where you are. Sometimes I remember my friends that were early to have kids and everything, and me, I was just out there living my best life. But you guys relate, always talk, always show empathy, show up. Yesterday I went for 4 events. Why? One was for work. One, my friend had a stand at this Beauty West Africa. I went to support her. I went to buy as well. And then one was her husband's birthday in the night, and I went. So sometimes adulthood is just about showing up. They don't even need your gifts. They don't even need your anything. They just need your presence.
Yes.
And that's
I completely agree with that. Earlier you talked about relationships, and now you're talking about friendships, and you're talking about the importance of women not limiting their dreams. What are your views on balancing it all? What are your views on balancing love, marriage, career, and all together?
My view, it might be an unpopular opinion. I think it's crap. That's what I think. I think we don't expect men to balance it all.
Okay, so
I don't expect.
So
it's not
easy. It's not possible.
It's not possible. Something has to give, right? So someone I look up to, she's a mentor to me, Mrs. Bola Balogu, that owns Glam Brand Agency, for example. She has 5 children. 5 children. She's in her 40s, but her oldest just turned 21 the other day. And her oldest is now in university, about her 2nd or 3rd year. When her children were in the thick of it, in the trenches of motherhood, when her children were really young, sometimes she could only work in that time they were at school, in that time of like, let's say 8, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that is it. So sometimes as a woman, some things have to give. And that's the thing with men. We don't expect them to have it all. We just leave them in their room to be working on their laptop. Leave daddy. He's working. He's busy. He's this. We don't expect him to be the most hands-on, There's that thing. People expect women to parent like they have no job and then have a job like they have no kids. It's not possible to have it all. So I think that we need to give women more grace and more resources. We need to fill the care gap. If men and partners did more caretaking, women would be able to achieve more. And that's why in America during COVID, because there's not many domestic staff like there is here, and it's not as accessible and affordable, mass amounts of women fell out from the working force. Why? Because we do most of the care work, even abroad. So I don't believe a woman should have it all. I believe that the same way we encourage the man and say, daddy is working, that's the same way sometimes mommy is working. Mommy has to travel. Mommy has, yes, that's what I think.
I think that's very real, actually. So it's like you have to know what stage you are in per time and be okay with it.
Yes.
So it's okay to choose your career.
Yeah.
It's okay to choose your family.
Yes.
It all depends on you.
Yes, there will be times you have to choose your career. One of my friends, she told me she had a big business trip this year or last year, and it was about 2 weeks or so. And she said she felt so guilty. And every day, she'll be calling her child and just be fair. And he'll be like, Mommy, I miss you and all that. She said that when she came back, for 5 minutes, then he went to go and play. At the end of the day, your children, that's good if they are developmentally appropriate, everything. If you've given them the skills to embrace life, they should leave you. And what's going to happen after that? I was talking to a friend yesterday that is a politician's wife, and she was saying that a lot of the other politicians, because she's a career lady, a lot of them always come to her crying, opening up. What can we start? What can we do? What can we do alongside this and that and that? Because, of course, in good partnerships, there's openness to resources and everything. But a lot of times, people just use money to control the other partner. There's financial abuse. There's all sorts of things. And she said the reason why she's here today is because her dad will always be laughing. I'm not going to give money for that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. So we really need to own our economic power, and sometimes that means, yes, going to work the same way daddy goes to work. Yes, we have to.
That's deep, and that's like, if you're listening at home, it's like you have to be gingered as a woman. There's no slacking. Okay, so I have a little game for you. I have a fun segment.
Okay.
It's called This or That. I'm sure you know about it. So I just want to know which you prefer. So Ankara or lace? Ankara, gele or fascinator?
Gele.
Yeah, you're gele girly.
Yeah, just the, snatch.
Beaded jewelry or gold accessories?
Gold. I'm a gold girl.
You're a gold girl. Okay. Destination wedding or traditional wedding?
Ooh, this is a spicy one, especially as I'm AsoEbiBella. Actually, I think destination.
Destination, okay. Monotone, AsoEbi, or mixed patterns?
No, mixed
patterns.
For sure.
All right, so I have another game. You ready?
Yes.
Would you rather wear only white outfits for a year or only bold, colorful prints?
Oh my, I only bold colorful prints for sure.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yes.
Would you rather design an AsoEbi look for a celebrity or curate styles for a global fashion exhibition?
Ooh, oh my goodness. I think the exhibition one, because like I said, I'm even thinking of going back into my arts more next year, but just that global stamp, that significance, that lasting power that a museum has, just the way art elevates you. Like I can just imagine walking through a gallery and you see, maybe mannequins on different heights. I'm already enthralled.
Yeah, you already got the idea. Okay. Would you rather attend 10 weddings in a month or one extravagant wedding that lasts for 3 days?
Extravagant wedding, like an Indian wedding.
Just one big one.
I can't wait. Like that. Do you remember the Ambani wedding? The billionaire wedding with Rema?
Yes, you like to
love to.
Even myself, I wanted to join.
Me, please.
Okay, so I have finished the sentence as the last game. Every AsoEbiBella feature must have dash to stand out.
Sauce.
The best part of Nigerian fashion culture is
the rapid evolving. It's always changing. It's always adding. It's always building. Yeah. Rapid evolution.
Rapid evolution. Yeah. The ultimate wedding guest faux pas is.
Oh man, me self, I have my zippers broken, everything. I think going without an invite, I guess, is kind of tacky.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you for playing with us. You're so cool. Let's go into something more. I want to use the word deeper. Has there been any personal struggles or personal challenges that you have faced, and how did that transform you to the person that you are? Because earlier on you said, I'm kind, but I'm not nice. I know there's a story there. So has there been a personal challenge or struggle you can share with us?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just giving you one within the past year, sometime last year, I had to break all of my savings. I literally, when I made these savings, I had a vision for the savings. I was like, oh, this is what I'm going to use to buy land, etc. And then I had to break it completely. And what saved me was I had saved in dollars. So by the time I was breaking in, that was the time that the Naira is still devaluing now, but that's the time there was a sharp decline. Like it almost doubled in like 3-4 months. And so things hadn't really caught up on the Naira side in terms of prices. So it's more or less like I doubled my money. So in a way that was good, but in a way that was sad. Like the fact I had to break my savings. But you know, one thing I always think about, there's this passage in the Bible with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, right? Where they were, trapped, and they were like, you know what, God, like, please save us. But you know what? Even if you don't save us, like, we still believe in you. We still believe in your glory. We still believe everything will be fine. And then they came out unscathed. So that's a really big part of my belief system, that things will get better. Even though things may seem so overwhelming and crazy and everything in the beginning, I think I was inspired by my dad, who I was born in his 50s. So he had a lot of kids over the years, from like ranging from his 30s to his 50s. So I was like, when I came into the world, everything was fine. This is someone that lived in different countries and everything. And so I was like, you know what, things may seem a bit crazy now for me having to break my savings, but things will be better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You motivated yourself,
Yeah, I
basically.
did.
That's
Also did
nice.
therapy, which was very
Okay.
helpful. Yeah.
I like that you shared about therapy, because the next point I was going to talk about is, as women, you rightfully said that you don't think there's a balance. You are picking a side and cut us some slack, give us some grace, and at some point it's going to affect the mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, family life,
So,
everything.
everything.
What is it like dealing with that realistically? And I'm really happy you said therapy, because sometimes it's like a woman is meant to feel like to carry. You have to carry everything. So what is the way to deal with the challenges that happen as a woman, especially a woman in a male-dominated industry, or a woman who is a serious boss chick?
I think one, have a good support system. If you don't have one naturally, you buy one.
You buy
You
one.
buy one, period. I met someone the other day, and our kids are in the same school, and all her siblings are abroad, all of them. And I think one or both of her parents is late. And she said that once she just got the child, she has 3 staff in the house. She normally liked living alone. Those people, me too, I'm like that. I like to do things myself. I don't really like people like around me so much, like, because also I have to attend to their needs. In Nigeria, when you have a staff, even if it's a staff in your office, it's not the normal staff distant relationship. You're almost like a parent or mentor to them. So I take on that responsibility very seriously. Even things that happen with my son's nanny or anyone in my life, I tell them, I'm like, you're someone's child too, so make sure you get rest. Or you're someone's child to make sure, I don't know, this thing that is broken on the floor, don't step inside. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I think one, get a support system, lean on the support system. Someone I saw the other, one of my friends, she was like, that recently a friend challenged her, like, every time I ask you if you need help, you say no. And she just broke down crying. Yeah, so having this, break down the idea that you need to do things yourself, lean on your support system, do therapy if you need to. If you can't afford to, let God be your therapist. Watch YouTube videos, watch TikTok, talk yourself through, find ways to express yourself. Whether that's journaling, or whether that's dancing or going to the gym, find ways where you have release of something positive and uplifting, whether that's picking up art, a paintbrush.
Let's talk. You need to get your yield together. It's time to invest, chill, and repeat. This is Rich Auntie Vibes. This is Credit Direct.
So those are, I think, 3 things you can do to, find some.
You said more than 3, and those were actually very helpful tips. And I like that you've mentioned God a couple of times now, and I'm just curious on what your relationship is with God, and if you've had a God encounter, and an encounter where you were like, oh, this is God, he really loves me, and I'm following him.
I mean, for me, I haven't had a church home since the pandemic. And I traveled at that time for my master's and came back. But I pray often. I read my Bible. I pray every day. I read my Bible. I mean, okay, one is that when I was pregnant, it's really sad actually, but a lot of people around me were losing their pregnancies. Someone I know lost a child after 10 days. Someone I know had a stillbirth. So, and, publicly, it was also the time that, Ifeanyi, Davido's son. So just as a public tragedy. So I felt very sad, obviously, and in pregnancy, your emotions are heightened and your hormones. But somehow, I don't know why, I don't know how, I don't know. I just felt my child is meant to be here. My child, like, this is me telling myself, this is not me, talking to anyone else. I just felt all these tragedies happening. I feel so much empathy for these people, but it didn't make me scared of losing my pregnancy. It just made me more, I don't know, more, just more thankful and grateful. And it just made me just very aware that I knew that my situation would just not be that. I just knew deep inside me. I don't know what the conviction was. I just knew that this would not be my situation. So, of course, that does not mean God loves me more. That doesn't mean God loves them less. There's been similar cases in even my own family of baby loss, this, that, with people close to me. So I'm not claiming that. I'm just trying to say that there was a steadfastness that I felt that I would say was like more divine.
So was that the point where you started becoming more consistent with your prayer life, or it's always been like that?
It's been consistent since, but I really liked listening to gospel then. That was when Jaire wasn't up to a year old, I don't think. Jaire.
Yes, you were the one.
Exactly. So I would listen to all these songs and just be rubbing my belly and be talking to him. And yeah.
Oh, it's so cute. Okay. Let's talk about dreams and legacy. You spoke earlier about how money had power and how it really resonated with you. And of course, you have been a huge part of BellaNaija, a huge part of AsoEbiBella as well. What would you say is your greatest dream or the legacy that you want to leave behind?
That is a big reason why I moved back to Nigeria, because being embedded in the pulse of what is going on, I'm sure a lot of Gen Zs and Gen Alphas wouldn't know that once upon a time, you could not look up any traditional style online. If you didn't have it in Ovation, in a printed format, you couldn't put in Blue Ashrebi and get inspiration. So that has been a big legacy, sharing those love stories, sharing those fashion inspirations, just making our stories valid and worthwhile. There's something very endearing, and there's something that powers you up when you see your own story reflected online. Even when you see maybe love, as we see with Nollywood, right, or with Nigerian music, the way it's blown up. The reason why we resonate with this is because it's very authentic. And there was nothing like that in the fashion space before me.
Hey, if you do say so, that's so true. Before Nkenchinyere Inc. Period.
So, I mean, period. That's it.
I love that. So you're literally living in your legacy.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
It's fun. It's nice. I mean, interesting.
It's interesting.
Yes.
Because it's I just plucked what you were saying, and it's like, everybody wants to make that mark that people say, oh, and usually when people think about legacy, it's like, oh, many years to come when you have gone. But it's like, you're a living legend.
Period. See, I'm not gonna fake humility for you. If you praise me, I will take it.
No, I'm like, that must feel like, do you feel like a level of, will I use the word fulfillment, contentment, purpose?
Yeah, for sure. It's just endearing. It's lovely to see. I've heard the phrase, Adekunle Gold sang about BellaNaija wedding, BellaNaija calm down, and I've seen the phrase, AsoEbiBella, I've seen it used in movies, series. So being part of the lexicon, even someone's like, AsoEbiBella, it's being part of a lexicon, having coined a phrase that people use just in day-to-day words or language. It's very nice. It's very nice.
I want to do I want to juxtapose, right? So you have followers on Instagram and social media, but you're still very much private. you know, so if we're going to use the numbers to compare, on your personal page, you have about 30 something thousand followers. And then on BellaNaija is like almost 3 million. So,
AsoEbiBella, yeah, 2.8. Yeah.
how are you able to be such a private and super public person at the same time?
Do you know that a time last year I took 8 months of social media?
8 months?
Yes, I didn't post anything. for
Meanwhile,
8 months.
AsoEbiBella was doing every day.
Every day. Every day. So I think sometimes it's okay to take those steps to recharge, which is why I'm happy I am not the traditional content creator that I am the star of my show. You know, I am an event content creator. I am a brand content creator, but my own personal content creation and curation is at my own leisure. And when I'm tapped out, I take a step back. You know, I know that with consistency in my personal brand, I would have grown my personal brand bigger than what it is today, but it's okay that is where it is. I like being in this space, in this corner. That's pretty much it for me. I have no regrets about just taking it slow and doing according to my strength.
I like that you mentioned tapped out, because that's a thing. I think that's a thing that's happening in this generation, in this era, where it's like, I have to post, people have to see, I need the views, I need the likes, and it's to me, it's very exhausting.
It is.
But like, how did that become such a, you know, such a thing that is even affecting people's mental health? And how do you think, based on your experience of owning 2 huge pages, people are aspiring and doing all sorts to get those numbers? So someone who has done it, been there and back, what will you say to the upcoming content creators or people who want to do things like blogs and the rest, and they're looking for these numbers and this visibility?
I would say that the game has changed. So I understand why people need to post every day. I totally get it. I think that maybe choosing content pillars and sticking to it might make you less tapped out. Because, okay, you're right. Because do we expect a Hollywood director or producer to produce a blockbuster hit every day? No, not even every year. So I think, 1, we need to have grace for ourselves. 2, we don't know how long this content creation game is going to last in the way it is. And I think that people should have lasting brands and lasting businesses outside of it. So for example, I know Patrick Star, who's a YouTuber, now he has the one size, the setting spray, and you know, Jackie Aina has the candles and the perfumes. So I think using your influence to unlock something a bit more sustainable and long lasting is just so, even if you're hot, even if you're like, you know, your style is never dimming, Jesus name. But I think that unlocking other aspects of you where you can take a step back if you need it. See, for me, everybody is different. Before I got pregnant, I was working out 5 days a week. I was so fit, everything. When I was pregnant, almost like it whooped my butt, you know. I was a slave to I thought I would be an active. No, I could barely sit. I could barely stand. I could barely walk. Do you get? So I had to carry a pillow everywhere, like literally a cushion, everything. And I had to stay like sloping like this because my bones were always hurting. So this is just to paint a picture that you don't know what life can throw at you. It could be that. It could be one of your parents is sick and you become a primary caretaker for them. It could be something. So I would say build something sustainable that you don't have to keep up with every day, because having to keep up with this kind of thing every day is very exhausting. Yes.
Super draining.
Even
You're right about that.
9 to 5, you can take a sabbatical. You can take a break. But the fact that content creation, if you take a break, no more money and no more this, it's not really sustainable for mental health, I think.
Yeah, completely agree with you. And just before I let you go, I mean, BellaNaija, AsoEbiBella, and even your personality as well. Like I said, you have an aura of like flowers. So, what is your view on love, on marriage? How do you see that? Like, are you a romantic?
Yes.
Are you a marriage? Leave me alone.
Unfortunately, I'm a lover girl. I say unfortunately because I feel like in Lagos, you're meant to shine your eye more than I do. I feel like I'm still innocent in some ways. Like my eyes open, but also I'm like, no, I want things to be romantic. So I think with love, with marriage, if you're willing to put in the work, it can work. And that comes from two parties. You can't clap with one hand. You cannot. So you can be the perfect partner. You can be bringing out all the effort, doing all the things. But if your partner is not there with you, then it's not going to happen. Also, I see a lot of emphasis on women of, choose the right partner, choose the right man. And I actually rebel against that narrative. I feel men should be better people. That's what I think. That's my unpopular opinion. Do you think that somebody goes in choosing the right man? No. The person pretends, the person lies, the person, formats and, and poses. So I feel like we should raise men. We've raised women to be more like men, meaning get your bag, get those degrees, etc. But we need to raise men to be more like women, be more empathetic, be kinder. Don't have main character syndrome. Don't be selfish, think the whole world revolves around you. Yes, you have care, you have help, especially in a society like Nigeria, but spend time with your kids. So we need to, men need to be better people. That's
your take home.
That's my...
Sorry to all the men out there.
Sorry to that man.
That's period. You be better people. Anyways, thank you so much for coming. You have been a bundle of great energy. I've had a great time, and it's nice to be able to know more about you. And I see that there's just a lot of love. You grew up from a lot of love, and there's still a lot of love. In fact, maybe that should be my final question. You grew up from a lot of love. There still seems to be a lot of love, but we're in a very wicked world.
On it, period.
How are you maintaining this love? Realistically, how?
Man, I live in my own Delulu world. I make myself happy. I wake up, play music. I play music in the shower. I sing to myself. My birthday just passed, and I self-gifted. I bought myself gifts in 4 categories, 4 Fs. A fun time. I went to Dara Beach Resort on my own. It was amazing. Fragrance, fine leather goods, and what was the last F? Footwear. So I gifted myself. I kept all these gifts for months, and then I opened them exactly. Hey, thank you, past me. Thank you, future me says thank you.
I think I'm going to do that. And I like the fact that you're like, I gifted myself.
Period. I got myself. No disappointments. Some people will be like, I want this, I want that. Nope, I can't disappoint myself. So.
Thank you so much for that. You're such great energy. And of course, thank you so much for watching. You know what to do already. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to watch that. If they want to be great content creators, if they want to have blogs like BellaNaija, AsoEbiBella, they need to get in here and learn. And of course, the men out there, do better. That is my take home for today. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Amandadara. This is the Open Up Podcast. And quick shout out to my girl, Shakara Tribe. I see my drip. The drip is eternal. It's just on period. So please go rush to her page, support her. She's been fantastic, styling me on the show for a couple of episodes, and I absolutely love her work. 10/10. See you next time. This is the Open Up Podcast with Amandadara. Much love. Mwah.